What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the crypto. I can't even talk. Cryptocurrency ecosystems. I can't even talk because I'm just flabbergasted by XRP right now. Guys, holy XRP. We have just seen a massive insurgence into XRP, and the market cap, I think, went up over was it like $100 billion or something like that? And so pretty crazy. Is there an echo? Is there an echo in my microphone? Is there really an echo? Oh no. I have an echo? Oh no. Is it another echo? Oh gosh. Okay, hold on. Let me check this thing. I had an echo this morning on the Moon Show, and I was like, what is going on? Let's check it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, got it. I think I fixed it. Did I fix it? I think I fixed it. Oh my gosh. I figured out what it was. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, guys. This whole time, I had a double. I don't know if you guys are familiar with streaming, streaming software or, broadcasting software. Sometimes you can have two audio inputs running at the same time, and they can be from the same source. And if you have both of them running at the same time, obviously you're gonna get this wicked echo. So, oh my gosh, okay, I think I finally fixed it. So, yeah, that's what it was. Oh my gosh, okay. So I didn't realize that on the fly because I went on the Moon Show this morning and I had this terrible echo, and Crypto Kid said you gotta go. And so he was like, I can't fix it. He's like, I don't know if it's on my side or your side. So everyone in the chat was like, R.I.P. Dano. They were like, rest in peace. He got canned. But please, yeah, can me if that's always the best thing to do. If your sound is like off, you gotta go. But we fixed it now, so at least we fixed it on our own stream, and we don't have a crazy echo. But thank you guys for sticking with me, and you guys are awesome because you were quickly on the chat. You said, yo, bro, there's an echo, so we got it fixed. So thank you guys so much. So you guys are the best. You're the best community. You're the best chat, and you're the best viewers in the crypto space. All right, so let's smash up the likes. Let's get this thing going, and let's get into some of the bullish news that is XRP going parabolic. So we have XRP going crazy. We have the total cryptocurrency market cap, excluding BTC and Ethereum, breaking just almost to all-time highs now. We're breaking out of this cup and handle pattern, inverse head and shoulders, whatever you want to call it. We've been looking at this and thinking, man, like even excluding BTC and Ethereum, which are pulling some heavy weight, now you see XRP pumping. You see a lot of these altcoins from the previous cycle are doing really, really well. Like Stellar Lumens has actually done just as well as XRP. XRP's catching up. Stellar Lumens has done 450% on the monthly. So just a lot of gains to be made in the altcoins. And according to this metric here, we're now sitting in altcoin season. We're right under about to be in altcoin season, above in this 75 range. And so if you are invested in altcoins and you are really excited right now, you are feeling the momentum, and so I'm happy for you guys. If you've been buying, if you're making gains right now, a lot of stuff to keep your eye on, but we're going to keep it pretty simple. Basically, I think the big question right now is like, am I too late on XRP, or is retail going to FOMO into XRP, almost like they FOMO'd into Dogecoin, thinking it could get to, these astronomical prices, like it could get to a $350 XRP or $1,000 XRP, And so we have a video to show. This our Tyler S is a crypto influencer on YouTube. We follow him, and so whenever he releases a video, we like to watch some of his stuff. So we'll show you what he did. And he was like, look, these people that are calling for $1,000, thousands of dollar XRP price have to realize that would be a massive, massive market cap. It would be bigger than Bitcoin. Like, it would be bigger than just the entire crypto space as a whole. It would just mean like XRP would just be like taking on, half the, like a big portion of the world's wealth just all of a sudden just goes into XRP, and it just absolutely destroys. But to be realistic, XRP going to, let's say, maybe $500, maybe between $100 and $500 wouldn't be off the table for an XRP. But we'd like to know what's the other altcoin that retail will then think, man, okay, I missed XRP. What should I go into next? And, it might be Polygon, it might be Tron, it might be Cardano. We've seen a nice insurgence in Cardano. So we're going to go through these altcoins. We're going to go through some of these, and we're going to, just analyze them. And then we can all do our own research and figure out what we would like to ultimately invest in, because we still are early. We have some charts that we'd like to show you guys that kind of represent, how early we are, because the halving happened in April this year. If you're familiar with the Bitcoin halving cycles, we have this this time trajectory that we go into where 500 days or so after the halving is when we usually see the peak. And so that's not until September of next year. So we have all of these price ranges and resistance levels to hit, and bouncing off of new support that's been created through all of these different price fluctuations here, that the altcoins are just going to be they're just going to be going crazy. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity to make some money, but there's obviously going to be a point where it will stop and the fun will be over for a little bit, and people are going to take profits. We'll see. I think we're going to see a shorter bear markets than we've seen in the past, because you got to think technically this was kind of a normal bear market, and then we had the COVID stuff, and then we just had a really kind of long consolidation of a bear market, and then finally bounced into the past 2 years where we've been in a bull market, and then also going into this parabolic zone, which I think might top out at $500,000 per Bitcoin in that quarter. But I think in the first quarter we could get as close to 350 by March or April. That's my call, is that we go to 150K at the end of the year, and we do a nice little crash, 30% crash. We do a nice 30% crash. Really scary one from 150. We just pump. We do supply crunch, pump into Christmas. Kris Kringle comes down the chimney. We all get 150K Bitcoin. But then once he leaves really fast. And he did eat all the cookies, drank all the milk, and then the price starts to go down. And then I think we get a nice little pump from 100K going up to 350K, because the buying pressure, I think, at 100K would be massive, especially if you got a nice little dip. But no one knows. No one really actually knows. I'm just going off of previous data, and that's what I like to look at. And so I've used this Binance chart, Bitstamp chart. But right now, let's currently look at what is happening with Bitcoin right now. I got to smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell, do all the things to get notified when I go live. We do these live streams Monday through Friday, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, and Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week we will be doing later live streams. We won't be doing them at 8 o'clock, but we will be doing them at we'll be doing them around 9:45 or 10 o'clock. So if you can make those notes, it'll be a little late, but we're just going to do a quick 30, 45-minute market update, because we like to keep it consistent, but we have to just push back just a little bit. All right, so, when you're looking at the daily chart, on Bitcoin, we broke out of the bull flag. We've broken out of this, cup and handle, inverse head and shoulders. We've done all the things, but the target still hasn't been met. So I think a lot of the times what we've seen is like Bitcoin like crush up in these nice daily candles, and then we have some consolidation, we have some sideways price action, and then we have another nice green daily candles, and then we have some kind of sideways consolidation. What we were looking at on Bitcoin was we were kind of seeing an inverse head and shoulders that did play out up to the neckline, but now we're just trading sideways. But the last time it did this, we traded sideways for a little bit. It definitely did some things like this, where it just went sideways. It just did this, and kind of went sideways, and finally it hit this break point, and it starts to squeeze. The Bollinger Bands start to squeeze, and then we pop. And I think that's when we're going to see the 100K Bitcoin actually come to play. But it's just win. These sideways markets sometimes give us this like decision making point with Bitcoin. Bitcoin basically is on the fence. It's gonna either go down to 89,000, or 90 or 91,000, which was that previous support level where we bounced up and almost broke all-time highs. Like, that was the last support level. So if we go anywhere near a price, it would go near this last support level to the downside, or we do a supply crunch, supply squeeze, little short squeeze, and then we break to over 100K. But guys, let me know in the chat what do you think is going to happen? Like, I'm curious to know what you think is going to happen. Are we going to go back down to 91K again before we can break 100K? Are we going to break 100K and then it's price discovery zone, and then who knows from there? Because we haven't seen a 40%, 30%, 40% dump just yet. We've only seen maybe 20%, 25%. That's the max it's dumped from an all-time high. Like, basically like from this previous all-time high, we went as low as 8%, and then all the times that we've pumped and made new all-time highs and broken down, it hasn't been any more than 10, maybe the max was I think 20%. So this is where it's just Bitcoin is in decision-making mode. It's indecisive. It doesn't know which way it wants to go, but hopefully, the bulls will go in control. But we do see with, some of these altcoins. I mean, look, like an altcoin that we've been talking about for a while, XYO, very heavily in the deep end space, and they're kind of involved with a lot of stuff now. So it's one of those that it's like a blue chip altcoin for Ethereum. They're doing a lot of stuff. They're multi-chain now. They're performing the best, 64% right now on XYO. And then you got HBAR, 33%, XRP up 16%, Chainlink. We were going to, excuse me, we were going to talk about the altcoins that we think that are at still good buying zones, and one of them being AVAX, one of them being Chainlink. Cardano is still in a great buying zone. It's in this second tier zone of buying. We said, look, Cardano is at a great, if you're buying it below this purple box, that great entries. And XRP was around these same entries as well. So it's really funny how, XRP was kind of mimicking Cardano, and then Cardano got some heat, and then now it kind of stalled out, and then XRP now has kind of taken the center stage and has got a lot of the lights on XRP. Everyone's talking about XRP. CryptoFace made a joke and said, I got electricians in my house, and the first thing that comes out of their mouth is XRP. They're talking about XRP. And so it's funny. And then I feel like, retail's starting to come back. They're really starting to feel it. They're really starting to feel it now. They don't want to get sidelined. I've gotten a few texts recently that people are asking, like, hey, I got some money. Like, I know you're doing some stuff and you're involved in it. And so, yeah, you're going to start getting those text messages too. You're going to start getting people asking for advice. And And I think that's good. I mean, honestly, people people sometimes make the joke that that's the top signal. Like when people start talking about it too much, like that's the top. But I think this time, because we've had so much PTSD, we've had so much post-traumatic stress disorder and trauma from a lot of the rug pulls and all the things that have happened in this industry. You know, it's still an early industry. You know, we're going through the teenage years. You know, we were being rebellious. You know, we were experiencing high yield and being absolute degenerates. You know, we're selling JPEGs online, guys. I mean, this is the state of the state of the market. People were spending millions of dollars for JPEGs. So you have to think like the crypto gods came in and said it's time to rug. And so we all got rugged, and now we're coming back into this space with institutional money, which was not very much in as much as it is now. You have to think about the institutional money and how much actual money is starting to come into this space and what that means for the overall total market cap. So when you look at the overall total market cap, which is also breaking out, and if you're looking at the weekly chart will show you something really interesting. You'll see that it is breaking out of a cup and handle pattern. You got kind of an inverse head and shoulders too. And the breakout for that is actually in what we've talked about, is that $7 trillion crypto total market cap here in the next couple months. I mean, literally in the next 2 to 3 months, we could be sitting at a $7 trillion market cap for the whole space because of how much institutional money and adoption is coming in, especially with the pro-crypto administration, the Trump administration coming in. Got a lot of things to be bullish about in the next 4 years if they can do what they say and they're not just being talking heads. You know, that's what historically, like some of these politicians, they have a lot of promises, but are they going to be met? You know, Obama was a perfect example of having all of these different promises, but ultimately he ended up being a warmongering creep. And so basically the hope and change that he was talking about the whole entire time was not very much a hope and change type of administration. And we all kind of learned that. You know, that was another psyop right there. So you have to start to now think about, okay, there might actually be some forward motion here with the backing of Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, that's going to be ran by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. They're already ready on day one to audit like all of these different government programs, federal programs, tax programs, anything that is siphoning and irresponsibly using the taxpayer dollar for some BS. They are going to squash it and they're going to end it. And they're not going to be like, well, let's take, a couple. No, it's like, it's going to be Twitter style. Elon's coming in with the sink, let it sink in. People are getting fired. You can't do yoga every day. You can't just go into the office once a month. Don't know where the lights are on. Like, don't even know how to turn on the lights. And it's time to get fired. So that's why a lot of these people are really scared right now, because they're like, man, I can't have this scam, this sham keep running. I'm gonna have to get a real job, and they're gonna have to work just like every other American. So that's coming. So you have to think about where Doge is sitting and how much market cap Doge could get, because then you get to think okay, the hive mind of the retail mind is, I think, going to think that, okay, XRP, XRP I remember being at, whatever price, and XRP historically has been joked at as being a stable coin, for the longest time. XRP finally is having its day. It's finally having its day, getting almost back to its peak, where it got up about $3.30 was its peak in 2018. And since then, it hasn't really gone near that, but it's basically from here to here has been a stable coin in these markets. But now people are starting to talk about it. It is in the conversation, but for me, don't think people are going to, in the hive mind, buy XRP. I think they're going to buy Dogecoin. I think they might actually buy Cardano over XRP because of the fact of Charles Hoskinson being involved with the Trump administration and with the Department of Government Efficiency. Kind of connect the dots with these tokens, and I think that as simple as that. And it's literally like Shiba Inu, things like SHIB. Oh, and today, oh my gosh, today we need to be following the Shiro token, Shiro Nero token. It's this SHIB-backed token, and this is going to be launching today. So we need to make sure we have, Shiro Nico. Yeah, Shiro, not Nero. It's Shiro Nico. And basically, let's see, 3 p.m. Okay, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is when they're going to be dropping this contract, and we are going to, I don't know, we're going to try and buy some. We're just going to get the contract, and basically it's just the contract is launched. It's a fair launch. No one, I don't think anyone's getting a supply. It's like just here it is. See what happens. And I'm very intrigued on how this is going to go because it is officially backed by the Shiba Inu developers and that ecosystem and the Shibarium ecosystem. So you could go down the rabbit hole with going into Shiba Inu and the Shibarium thing and how it's all linked together. And I mean, it'll lead you down a rabbit hole of like, man, I don't even know what token to choose. But so let's keep our eye on that. Just make sure you keep your eyes peeled for the launch here. It's today, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we got 8 p.m. GMT. All right, so let's see what else. Okay, so I was curious because, like I said, guys, we had this XRP trade open. I don't know why we closed it, to be honest. I think we were just trying to practice proper risk management. And it's funny, because when you do practice proper risk management, you still make money. You still can do compounding consistent gains, no problem. But sometimes if you have the little bit more patience and you swing long stuff and you can just be like, okay, I see the target. Like I see it on the chart. It's bound to go there if you see the target. And so I was seeing the target of $2 for XRP. So I was like, look, I'm going to get the trade in. We got an entry at $1.18, $1.16. That was our entry price. And we took profit that closed the whole trade at $1.19. And so if we would have kept that trade open, so we only made $57 on this trade. It's not terrible. I mean, it's money. It's not zero. It's not getting liquidated. But the fact that XRP has just been pumping so much, we missed out on making $2,751 on that particular trade. And so those are one of those where you just got to take one of those on the chin and be like, all right. And let me know, guys, is there any coins, is there any trades that has played out kind of similar like that for you, and where you closed it, you made money, you're like, okay, cool, but then the next day or literally like just days later, it just starts to run just to astronomical levels. It's bound to happen to you, and I know if it has happened to you, you will understand that feeling, because it's just a weird feeling of being like, man, I don't know what's worse, getting liquidated or making the money, or seeing that if you would have kept it open for even just a little bit longer, you would have been in some nice profits. So, but we are looking for the next trade, guys. So if you're wondering, okay, what's the next trade? Hit the like button if you want to see the next trade. Put in the comment section what you think would be the next trade right now and what you should keep your eyes on. And I think, Mimi says, yes, it happened to me within 24 hours. Yes. No, yeah. Oh, the XRP one for me was pretty nasty because it was like, it happened like within, like I closed it and I was like, okay, I feel good about that. Okay, I feel good about that. And then it just starts to fly. And I just didn't want to FOMO back in because I didn't want to like go against my rule. Oh, if I FOMO back in, then it just, it might, but then it just starts to go wild. So, but it's okay. It's just funny when you say, you're like, all right, I'll practice proper risk management. And then once you do it, you're like, F the proper risk management. I need to be a absolute degenerate during these bull markets right now. Just need to be an absolute degenerate. But what do you think the next coin? What do you think the next coin is that we should pay attention to? I think it's Ethereum. So I think ETH is gonna have its day here. If you're looking at the daily chart, I think inverse head and shoulders you got playing out. I've been following Ethereum for a little bit here. We've been watching the Bitcoin dominance now is going down. It's kind of going. It's peaked at 61% Bitcoin dominance. Now we're getting a little bit more ETH dominance possibly, and dominance into the altcoins. And so ETH on the weekly, if you're looking at the weekly chart, you'd be able to see it a little bit better. ETH, if it was going to go down again, there's no way. I mean, that just means like the whole market, just of sentiment for altcoins and the crypto space and just the ETFs and all that stuff would not. It would just be like, they're just like, no, we don't want to. We want to short it, and we don't want it to be successful. I think that ETH its time is coming. Like we're gonna break this level. The breakout for this would be that then we break the previous resistance at 4K, and then we go up to break all-time highs at 5K, no problem. And also, if you're looking at this on the weekly, you can see that it is basically a cup and handle pattern. You can see that with that, the target would be at $6,500 for Ethereum. And so with $6,500 ETH is not that bad. I mean, that's a really good return at current prices that we're at. And I think it would really send confidence into the altcoins. And I think that's what's actually going to give us our altcoin season. And also just where we're going to see, I mean, look, I said whenever we get an XYO might be the telling here that we're going to get a nice ETH pump here. I mean, XYO has gone up 65%. And so just watch other altcoins start to do the same thing where they go up 30, 40, 50, 60% on the daily. And then we see little pullbacks a little bit, 10, 15%. And then it starts to cool off. But then all of a sudden we get rips to back to their all-time highs. I mean, this thing is getting really close back to going to its all-time highs. And now from where it's sitting now going to 8 cents, that is a 500% move to the upside. If you'd have been buying right here, that would be just exponential gains, just craziness. And I think this thing is actually very undervalued when it comes to altcoins, XYO. But I mean, you can go down the list and you can think, hey, Chainlink is undervalued. Chainlink is sitting in a pretty interesting inverse pattern, volumes coming in. This is another one that I think would be a decent one to look at in terms of what altcoin is still at a good discounted price. AVAX is another one of those. AVAX is in that inverse pattern. AVAX, I think, is super bullish in terms of all the types of different niches in the ecosystem, in terms of gaming, in terms of DeFi, in terms of a blockchain that can just handle institutional type throughput with transactions and gaming. And so AVAX, I'm thinking, is going to be one of the top performers where we end up going to, at least $200, $250. I mean, that's on a market cap for something like AVAX. It's only a $19 billion market cap. I think it can really do some damage. From the last cycle, the market cap and the price got up as high as $150. The market cap got up to a peak of $30 billion. And so I think, you attribute to what's one of the biggest niches and things that people like to buy in terms of entertainment. It's gaming. It's all aspects of gaming, online gaming, and then people betting, the betting and the gambling, mix it all together, sports, and you're going to see such a big insurgence of these like gaming type tokens, these rewards tokens. And I think that there's going to be some outliers of these certain types of chains that are going to be supporting these ecosystems that could do really well in terms of AI renders one of those. And then you have, Phantom. Phantom is having to rebrand, obviously, with Sonic Labs. This is another one that if you're wondering, okay, what's another altcoin to look into, keep track of is Phantom. We're actually currently in the Phantom trade, being one of the altcoins that we're following, and we're also on the AI trade. But we're seeing right now what happens when Bitcoin starts to lose a little bit of steam, and we start to see the altcoins kind of get chopped a little bit. So we're waiting for Bitcoin to really start to pick up, Ethereum start to pick up, and then I think these altcoin trades are going to do a nice little reversal. But yeah, but just wanted to show you guys what happens. Athena is one of these I think that would be a really interesting one to watch, because it has this stable coin called USDE, and it could be one of those interesting liquidity things where like this could go up to $2, $3, $4, $5 because of the state of the liquidity that could be provided with the stable coin, the liquidity pairs on different exchanges, collateralized loans and things like that. So different implementations with DeFi with like Aave protocols and MakerDAO and stuff like that. So, and big listings, Binance, BYBIT, BitGet, they're on every major exchange. This is what I've been keeping this on the list, and I'm like, all right, I really might just end up getting into an Athena trade, because I think the all-time highs could be substantial. And so we've actually had this on the list for a little bit, and we're going to pull up the chart real quick, and we'll show you guys what we're looking at for our target for Athena, which is, if I can find it, which is ENA. All right, so our target, I think, for this, just looking at the daily, we're getting some nice momentum back up to its previous all-time high, which is $1.51. I think $5 is easy. No problem. And that's just like a clean 500% move to the upside. Like I said, with the stablecoin stuff, you got to think about liquidity. Market loves liquidity. And if there's options to have that type of stablecoin and backing support with like BYBIT, I think it was BYBIT or Binance, which one was going to have like some collateralized options with partnering with ENA. And so keeping that on the list. But guys, make sure you're smashing up the like button. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really do appreciate you guys. Hopefully everything's working. We were just, it really bums me out. I was having that echo on the Moon show. We were ready to break down the altcoins and show the dominance and get super technical and show you guys the altcoins that we were following. But if you are a normal moon walker or a moon watcher or a watcher of the Moon show, then this is basically what I was going to break down on the Moon show today, is just kind of talk about that dominance, talk about some of these altcoins that are still, I think, undervalued. Just a nice little list. And yeah, thanks for smashing up the likes. We already got it up to 20 likes. If we can actually get the stream up to 30 likes, we're gonna do like some kind of special giveaway. We're gonna do like we're already gonna be doing a Christmas giveaway, but we need to do some more giveaways. So let's actually like smash up the likes, because we're gonna do like a special like Discord giveaway, and we are going to give you guys an opportunity to win something, maybe a little bit of crypto. What do you guys think? But actually, if I send a transaction on Ethereum right now, I would be paying $30, $35 to do one single Ethereum transaction. Rand made kind of an interesting point. He said, Ethereum is running and working so hard to solve a problem that the layer 2s have already solved. So, in which it is true, but Raoul Paul came with a response, and he said, well, look, think about it as market share of technology. Not everyone uses Apple products. Like maybe the retail, like, normal person, or like a media studio, or the people that do like multimedia, whatever it may be, editing, they kind of primarily are pushed a little bit more in towards using Apple products and using, those things. But in terms of finance and like corporate finance, historically they've used Microsoft. So Raul Paul says Ethereum's like Microsoft, like the institutions are going to use Ethereum like they would use Microsoft Excel over using, MacBook Pro and all of the different Apple themed products that they have in there to be doing those things. Doesn't mean you can't. I mean, there probably are some businesses that do still, they use Apple products. Maybe they like the feel of it better. But historically, we've seen banks just, and he says the support of Microsoft is more. There's more developers. There's been more history. There's been more done in the ecosystem in terms of Microsoft, in terms of the developers and the support, that if you need something done, there's plenty of resources to be able to get said thing done. And so I think that's what is interesting, and it has kept my eyes on Ethereum to be one of those things that could do a $15,000, $20,000 ETH, because of the nature of what it is and how it's been trading against, with Bitcoin, alongside Bitcoin, still as the second largest cryptocurrency in the world in terms of market cap, and it might stay that way. And everyone always thinks that things are going to start to flip ETH, but what if ETH just stays where it is but keeps getting bigger, and because of the institutions and so I think it can also attribute it to the ETFs, because for the first time ever we saw more inflows into the ETF than we did on a day of the 29th. We saw 320 billion Bitcoin ETF inflows, and then on the same day we had 332 ETF inflows for Ethereum. So I'm starting to see that people are going to start going into ETH. And so for me, I have a couple coins that I think are still great picks. And, you'd be bored, to find out that it's Ethereum. So I think ETH is going to be the next trade that I get into. And I'm just trying to figure out an entry. I see the chart looks bullish. The breakout target looks great. We would have some really nice moves to the upside. And so, what we're going to do is try and do like an inverse perpetual trade where we use ETH as collateral, and we're going to long ETH for the long haul to basically print more ETH. And so we're going to do that. We're going to do that using PHEMEX. And so a lot of some of the exchanges don't actually do the inverse perpetuals. So if you want to actually do the inverse perpetuals with Bitcoin or Ethereum, you could use my PHEMEX link that is in the description. And so, so I think Ethereum for us is definitely a good next play trade. We think it still has some room to grow for sure. Like I said, cup and handle pattern breakout could bring ETH up to, $6,500. If you've been watching any of crypto content, Crypto Faces content, he was kind of analyzing Ethereum, and he was saying, look, kind of everything's kind of looking like it's playing out, that this could be the next institutional wave pump going into ETH, because it's just kind of the next obvious play. Because of the factors like we just broke down, like I think to listen to Raul Paul, you'd be smart to listen to him because he understands the nature of institutional money. It's not really retail that moves the market. Retail doesn't do shit. They don't move the market. The things that move the market are the institution. It's the institutional money. It's the big money. It's that freshly printed fiat cash that they can print out of nothing. And that stuff goes into the market hard, and it's going to go into the crypto markets. And that's why we think the total crypto market cap is going to absolutely explode. We were seeing these cup and handle patterns really just setting the stage for, a really nice ultimate breakout. And so you're probably wondering, okay, well, what altcoins, what things should I look at? And I kind of built up a little list of some things that kind of have some previous exposure to different niche runs. Like there was the metaverse run, there was the DeFi, ETH staking protocols, there was the layer 2s, different layer 1 options. A lot of different narratives were playing out from the last cycle. And so we added some coins here. This is our list of coins, and then we have the percentage from it to its all-time high. And so let's see if we can get this loaded up. Might have to refresh the screen. Okay, there we go. All right, so some of these, and there's gaming tokens in here. There's meme tokens, and we're just gonna just do a quick blast through all of these and show you kind of the potential of even just kind of having a little bit of exposure into some of these. You're thinking, okay, what is still a good percentage off of its all-time highs, and do you think by breaking its all-time highs are we going to get more exposure into some of these ecosystems? And so one of them being Illuvium. Illuvium it went to an astronomical height. The market cap got insane. The price from its all-time high now being away at 217%. This one's would be interesting. So I mean, it's like kind of having a little bit of Illuvium as just a safety, almost kind of like people had a little bag of XRP just in case it starts to break out. And that's why we have Illuvium in that list, being in the crypto gaming sector. And then we have this project Waves that we've always seen. We don't know really much about it, but all we know is that whenever the altcoins start to pump and we go into an altcoin season, we see things like Waves doing really well, like very well. And so it's 2,900% off of its all-time high. It's currently sitting at $2. It's at $61. That's an old one that we've just kind of recognized from the previous cycle, that there's just when the altcoins start to run, like some things like this start to run. And then we have the two metaverse tokens that both did really well. The Sandbox ended, and they're about around the same price point. We got Sandbox at 64 cents. We got Mana at, Decentraland at 63 cents. And these things got so much market valuation and share with barely any users or product. Like now they're built up a little bit more. Like there's a lot more happening in the ecosystems now as opposed to the 3 years ago. But if you think like it's just kind of like what people did with some of these altcoins, are like, look, I'll have a bag of metaverse just to see if it's one of those niches that people end up buying into because crypto gaming starts to pump. We see things like Illuvium. Someone asked, what is Illuvium? It's a game. So Illuvium is the token inside of this ecosystem. There's like 3 different games inside of Illuvium. There's like an NFT game. There's an open world game. There's kind of a lot going on. So you have to go to Illuvium, click on the main website, and just like kind of dive into that because there's a lot going on. But if you just wanted to be like, okay, I'm bullish on crypto gaming, one of the best performing gaming tokens was Illuvium, and also Axie Infinity. That was another crypto game that did really well. A few others, not off the top of my head, I can't think, but out of those two, those did pretty well. And so then we have things like Rose is one of those altcoins that during the altcoin season, it just does really well. It performs well. It basically, in terms of ETH and other altcoins, it outperforms a lot of altcoins. I just see Rose, it just does well. So I put that in the list. I would keep that on your list of altcoins that could do really well. And then Metis is a layer 2 for Ethereum. It's Vitalik Buterin's mom's layer 2 project, which I think is fascinating. All-time high of this during the kind of the bear market was $323. So I think once Ethereum starts to, like I said, break this cup and handle pattern and go to 6K all-time highs, we're going to see things like Metis and other layer 2s and different things affiliated with the success of ETH doing really, really well. And so 443% off its all-time high. Metis, I think, kind of pretty, good buy range, under $100. We've seen it do really well when ETH was doing some movements on the charts. Like, I think when ETH went up 20%, Metis went up over $150. Really did some numbers on the charts. And so then going into the crypto gaming section, we got Nakamoto Games. Nakamoto Games is very undervalued. I think it's super low market cap, and from its all-time highs, at 379%, I think this thing could get to at least $10. At least $10. Worst case scenario, because it's a really cool kind of unique ecosystem. I think it's unique in on its own right. They're involved with a lot of different AAA kind of almost indie style type games.